Hello, greetings everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are joining me on the planet. My name is June Allen. I am a racial trauma therapist, I'm a retreat facilitator, I'm a speaker, I'm a business coach, and I am the founder of the Art of Greatness at juneallen.net. So today I wanted to talk to you about what does unity or Umoja in sisterhood look like? What does it look like? What's possible? And this is inspired by my Sacred Sister Sanctuary. It is a online membership that I have, a monthly membership that I have, and we're doing a live class on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. London time. And yeah, I'm gonna be talking about that today as well as part of today's topic. And the other reason why I wanted to talk about it is because it was inspired by a Facebook post. It was a TikTok post actually that I saw yesterday, and it really moved me to tears. It really moved me to tears because I relate to a lot of it. Um, but I watched it again before I came on to do this live, and it's kind of left me feeling really quite emotional. So yeah, I just really wanted to share about what is Emoja when it comes to sisterhood and stuff like that. So the TikTok that I saw was from, I don't know if you know the young lady Candice Brathwaite. She's an author and she's an influencer. I absolutely love her page. If you don't know her page, if you don't know any of her work, please follow her. Please go and look at what she's doing. Um, I love the stuff that she's doing with Sherelle as well. She's got a really great podcast as well, and I've had it's really good for a laugh as well, just seeing what she's doing on there. But yesterday she put up a post or I saw yesterday that she'd posted when she went to the dentist, and she was really scared of being in the dentist. I don't know what she was having done, but it was something that she was really scared about having. Anyway, the lady that was there was a lady that was in the room with her, one of the ladies that worked there, and this woman was actually, as she was having the work done in her mouth by the dentist, the assistant was like stroking her head, stroking her hand, just making her feel really, really calm, so she was able to get the procedure done that she needed to get done. So Candice was afterwards, she was sharing about this thing in the car, and she was just crying. She just started crying, and she said that you know this woman was actually gifted with this maternal energy, because, and Candice was also saying that she didn't realize how much she needed that care, that nurturing, until it actually happened with this woman. And she was really quite surprised at how emotional she was, how overcome how moved she was by it. And she was crying. She was really moved by the whole thing. It really stirred up something in her. Now, I don't know Candice's story in terms of her relationship with her mum. I'm not her therapist. I don't know how she works or anything like that. I don't know how she I don't know her relationship with her mum, so I don't know any of the background. However, what came up for me is as I was listening to this, listening to her talk, and just kind of experiencing and also feeling moved by her story. I was just thinking about, the amount of women that I work with, um, pretty much all of them actually, that have some sort of wound around their mum, and how I often hold space for women that need a space to be able to share about the yearning that they have, the pain that they're in, and the yearning that they have around the loss of their mum. Whether their mum is passed, like, whether she's actually died, or whether, the relationship was abusive, the relationship was complicated, and they just found it really, really difficult, really, really challenging. It impacts their self-esteem, it impacts how they feel about themselves, it impacts how they parent, it impacts how they feel in relationships. There were so many things that happen, but at the root of all of that was this yearning to be nurtured, this yearning to be held, this yearning to have a compassionate, soft touch by another black woman. by their own, or by their own mothers. That the grief and the loss around not having that from their own mothers has left them in this state of yearning. It's left them in this state of yearning. And I think that's, maybe one of the reasons why, I wanted to become a therapist as well. And those of you that know my story know that I have had a complicated relationship with my mum. And so I related to a lot of what Candice was saying. And, the reason why I'm such an advocate for doing what I do as a therapist with my clients is because I understand. I really do understand. I understand what that means. I understand how they feel. Over and above being a therapist, I understand what it means to not have that close relationship with your mum, and then really finding it difficult to um that yearning of wanting to have that close relationship with your mum, and you not being able to do that for whatever reason is something that it stays with you. It stays with you, and you tend to what happens is you have to find a way to almost live with it in a different way. Hi Rose, thanks for joining. You have to find a way to kind of navigate those feelings. You need a safe place to be able to process it and stuff like that as well. And this is the reason why this is the reason why I do what I do, because I understand the importance of what it means to have somebody validate your feelings. We live in a society where you can't, it's not really the done thing to actually say anything negative or anything like that around your relationship with your mum. And a lot of people stay in fantasy about their relationship with their mum because they can't bear the thought of being judged by other people. They can't bear the thought of being judged by other people around the relationship with your mum, because what often happens is, there's the whole conversation around, oh, well, you've only got one mum, you'll regret it, there's always this shaming that happens when people talk about the difficult relationship they have with their mum. And it can show up in the way that you interact in sisterhood. It can show up in the way that, in the challenges that you might have in actually connecting with other black women. Hi Rose, it's so lovely to see you as well. Thank you. Um, yeah, it shows up in sisterhood, and this is something that I've had to talk to my clients with, whether it's one to one or whether it's in the group setting, all the time. It's something that I talk that gets revisited really often, because there's a lot of pain that comes with that. There's a lot of pain that comes around those conversations, and a lot of people find it difficult to have those conversations because of the judgment that they get from it. And so my commitment, to that yearning is creating a safe space for black women to be able to come and have the conversation without being judged, to come and have the conversation, okay, and in a space that feels compassionate and supportive and honest as well. Because sometimes, I think when holding all of that stuff in and not being able to have that honest conversation, it can, it is going to leak out. It is going to leak out. And I've heard so many people have conversations with me about, well, I don't really like other black women. Other black women don't like me. I don't trust other black women. I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know if, being in the group setting is really for me, because they're afraid. They're afraid of getting close to other black women, quite often because there is an unresolved, unheard mother wound that's still there. So having a conversation about unity in sisterhood, Umoja in sisterhood, and that's what we're going to be talking about on Tuesday. Tuesday is my monthly membership space that's reopening up. I've actually revamped it, and yeah, the theme is going to be talking about what does unity in sisterhood actually look like. So if you're somebody that has had those conversations with yourself and others, saying that you don't like black women, you don't like other black women don't like you, you just feel uncomfortable, that discomfort is there, and you also have a mother wound that's there, that's unresolved, that's unheard, and you are looking for a safe space to be able to unpack that, then join us. Join us, because I'm here to hold that space for you without judgment. I'm going to be doing a series of live streams over the next few days that will help us to unpack this conversation a little bit more. Um, what will come with the in the space on Tuesday is there'll be some journal prompts as well, and I will pick out some of the journal prompts to kind of to share in these live streams over the next few days. Um, but it's important for us to have this conversation. And obviously, as we're going into we're in the kind of Christmas season now and stuff as well. And people don't always talk about this, but there's grief. There's probably going to be grief that comes up at this time of year around those conversations. We've all seen those adverts on TV with the happy families, the mums in the kitchen roasting this, that, and the other, and everybody's smiling and all the rest of it. And without realizing, there are so many women out there that are looking at those things and ashamed feeling ashamed because they don't have that relationship with their family, they don't have that relationship with their mum, and they blame themselves. They think, oh, that's not me, there must be something wrong with me because I don't have that. But the reality is there are a lot of us out here, there are a lot of black women out here that unfortunately we have a history of trauma. We have a history of dysfunction. We have a history of real challenges in the relationship with our families, in the relationship with our mums. And so it becomes really, really difficult. And quite often it's a pattern. It's a pattern that's been passed down. You'll probably find that, your mum's mum had a challenging relationship with her mum and so on and so. There's probably a whole line. There's a whole line. There's an intergenerational pattern that's been passed down. But if you might be one of those people like me that decided to draw a line under it. I decided that I wasn't going to pass that stuff on to my daughter. And this is no disrespect to my mum, because I know that my mum did the best that she could with what she had. However, I know that that relationship has been a struggle for a long time, on and off for me. It's been a struggle, but I feel more at peace with myself now because I understand that she's doing the best that she could with what she had. But unfortunately, the way that she's chosen to have her relationships and the way that she's chosen to mother and stuff like that didn't meet my needs. And that's not me disrespecting her. That's the reality. And the reality is, we live in a system and we live in a community where there is a lot of unresolved trauma. There's a lot of unheard trauma that hasn't been dealt with. So it leaks out. It leaks out in our friendships. And the importance of understanding Umoja and unity in sisterhood, what we're going to be talking about in the group on Tuesday, is giving us an opportunity to really explore those things. Giving us an opportunity to really explore those things and get honest about those things. So somebody's saying much needed, especially at this time of year. Exactly, absolutely. It's essential at this time of year. This is one of the commitments that I always do actually at this time of year because, there are a lot of conversations like the one that I'm having now that don't always get spoken about at this time of year. And so, and I hear it in the therapy room. I hear the clients coming to me and saying how ashamed they feel because they can't really have conversations with people about the reality that actually they feel isolated. They feel that they don't really want to go and put a mask on and pretend. They don't want to go and sit with this, that, and the other person in the family that was abusive to them. They don't want to go and sit around the table with people that don't acknowledge them. They don't want to sit around the table and eat with people that don't want to take responsibility for their behavior. And so either they end up they end up going to these spaces that essentially re-traumatizes them, or they end up not saying anything to anyone, or they end up on their own. They end up isolated and lonely because they're too ashamed to find an alternative way of dealing with things. So that's why I have these types of conversations, and this is the reason why I make a point of holding these types of spaces for women to be able to have these types of conversations. So we've got the Sister Sanctuary on Tuesday. If you want to if you live in London, or maybe if you don't even live in London, but if you live in the UK and you are looking for a space to actually do some work specifically around planning your self-care around the holiday season, next Saturday the 9th, I'm doing a half-day retreat. It's called it's one of my heal and chill sessions. Okay, and what we'll do is it's a half-day retreat, and you'll have there's two workshops or two spaces. The first space in the morning, what we'll do is you'll get the opportunity to explore your relationship to the holiday season, and you'll explore the difficulties and the challenges that you have around family or whatever. It doesn't have to be family, it could be friends or whatever it is you find difficult around the holiday season. And then you'll have an opportunity to plan your self-care over the holiday season. We'll talk about boundaries. We'll talk about, you being honest about what you really need and make sure that your needs are actually included in that. Okay. And then in the afternoon, what we'll do is we're going to have a bit more fun. So you'll have the opportunity to, it's a retro inspired play. So there'll be different stations that are set up. So if you want to come and play Connect 4, you can do that. If you want to play Jacks, you can, that old school retro game with Jacks, with the ball and the little metal things that we used to play with. You can play Jacks. You can come and do some, colouring in affirmations. There's going to be black Barbies there as well. So, maybe your inner child wants to come and play and stuff like that. So, it's half a day for you to come and learn how to take care of yourself. Learn how to take care of yourself. Plan your holiday season. Whether you celebrate this, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, whatever you choose to do, you have an opportunity to make sure that you actually be intentional about how you're going to look after yourself over the Christmas period. And then in the afternoon, obviously, you'll have a chance to chill and chat with the other women that are there and play. So that's going to be a really nice, nurturing 4 hours. And if you find it difficult, if you find it difficult to be around other black women, come and try it. Just come and try it. I have multiple clients that have been afraid or not sure if this is going to work for them and actually really enjoyed it, because the way that I hold the space, the boundaries that I put in for people to share and stuff like that means that, women will be allowed to share what they need to share without fear of judgment. Without fear of judgment, everybody will get a chance to share, and there are boundaries in place about, not commenting on what other people say and stuff like that, because we need to be able to say what we need to say without fear of judgment from other people. So that tends to reduce the anxiety in women that are afraid to be in spaces with other black women because they're afraid of being judged, or that somebody's going to say something with them or silence them or talk them down or whatever it is. Quite often the stuff that we experience from our mothers or other black women in our families. Unity in sisterhood is really about creating a safe space for us to be able to seek guidance, be honest about how we're feeling, yeah, and to take action around not just how to care for ourselves, but to allow other black women to care for us. A lot of us don't know how to let other black women care for us because we're so traumatized by our experience with our mums or experience with other black women. A lot of us will not let other black women care for us, and that's why the unity in sisterhood is sometimes doesn't work for us, because we've had those experiences. But if you're ready to learn, if you really are yearning for a sisterhood, or if you have got a mother wound that's really, that's still there, that you haven't actually had an opportunity to work through, and it's impacting how you show up in your friendships and stuff like that, this is an opportunity for you to come and really get honest with yourself about what's happening for you and why you find it so difficult, and to begin to start to, take some gentle steps towards doing something different and working towards that. And I'll help you do that. I'll help you do that. There are women that have been in the group for a long time that will be there, that understand, that will understand that you don't have to do this by yourself. The time for you having to do this by yourself, or trying to do it through reading books, self-help books on your own, you don't have to do that anymore. Most of the clients that I work with were in that situation. They were trying to resolve things by trying to do it on their own, trying to do it through reading lots of books or listening to podcasts or whatever. And you can't do it by yourself. We need each other. Okay? We need each other to be able to do this work. In order to have unity, in order to have Umoja and sisterhood, we need to be able to do this together as a community, as a sisterhood. But there also needs to be an understanding of the challenges that are impacting how, our ability to actually let us be cared for by each other, because those things are not spoken about enough. We like the fantasy of it, we like the idea of it, but in practice it's a lot harder to do if you're not aware of how your mother wound, how, even stereotypes and stuff from society, what it says about black women. If we're not having conversations about all of those things, how systemically it makes it difficult for us to be able to do that, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really, really hard. So allow yourself to come to the session, whether you choose to come to the session on Tuesday, okay, on Tuesday evening, which that's the one that's where we're specifically going to be talking about Umoja and unity in sisterhood. That's on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. That's online, okay. Or you can come to the in-person retreat on Saturday. And let me just say this as well. If you buy if you live in London and you buy a ticket to come to the event, to come to the, sorry, if you come to the session on Tuesday evening, okay, and you live in London, you will automatically get a complimentary ticket to the event on Saturday, okay, and vice versa. So whether you sign up for the monthly session, okay, that's happening on Tuesday, or you sign up specifically just for the retreat, okay, on Saturday, you will get access to both. You will get a month's trial, okay, either way. Or if you sign up for the monthly trial, then you'll automatically get access to the session on Saturday, okay. So it's a steal. It's a steal. And the monthly membership is now only £39.99. It's £40. Okay, it's £40 and you get one live session a month. So if you can't afford therapy and you're looking for a space, where you can come once a month, there'll be themed sessions every single month. And it's obviously that it's live. It's a 90-minute session every once a month. You get access to a huge virtual library. You can start there. You can start there. It's very affordable, and there's a lot of master classes. There's worksheets. There's lots of different things that you can get access to in the library to help you on your journey. Okay, so if you're interested in joining me, okay, whether it's for the session on Tuesday or for the session on Saturday or both, then you can click the link in my bio. Go to heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. That's heal.juneallen.net. If you've got any questions about anything that I've shared today, and the offer that I'm sharing is only going to be available until, let me see how long I'm going to do it. Let me think about how long I'm going to do the offer for, because I haven't thought about that. But obviously the event is not until, there's one on Tuesday, one on Saturday. So obviously I'll keep the offer open definitely until right up until the event, and I'll decide afterwards if I'm going to continue it or not. But yeah, so if you've got any questions or anything about anything that I've shared, you can send me a DM or you can email me info@yardofgreatness.com. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found today's session useful, and I will see you next time. All right? Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.